Hello everybody, today I'm going to be sharing a real side dream experience from my book Chronicles of a Cosmic Space Case. The PDF link for this book is below the description of this video. Dream 18. With a gun and on the run. In this dream seems I was a man on the run, or I might say a multitude of men on the run, as I seemed to be, constantly changing forms, transforming into men of different appearances and ages, from young to elderly. I get the sense I was doing this as a kind of defense mechanism, the possible throwing off of my pursuers by altering my form and causing confusion. It failed to work, however. My pursuers were relentless and not to be curtailed by my shifting of form. They were humans, as far as I could ascertain. I was always a fair distance from them, so was unable to inspect them more closely, and I was wise to keep distance between them and I, as they were all armed with guns, as I fled from them through worlds and scenes. I was regularly taking hits as they blasted at me with their firearms, but seemed this was not enough to stop me. It became all so one-sided and somewhat unsporting, so I manifested a gun for myself, to at least make it more fun, and even the playing field. I'd never fired a gun before, but surrender the specifics of the situation to the real me, and invariably I need not concern my little self. The real me was as adept at firing a gun as though it was something I had done all my life. Must have been frustrating for them. as they were unable to drop me, but they were very much susceptible to my return fire. Yet there was a never-ending quantity of them. When my gun ran out of bullets, I manifested another, then decided to acquire my subsequent guns more like James Bond might. I'd get a hold of one of my pursuers and disarm, immobilize them, and claim their weapon. This went on for a time. My last form I adopted was that of an elderly man, but very formidable indeed. Also, I had a very smart metallic grey suit to go with my silver hair. As the dream experience was reaching its end, with no conclusion in sight, I was clambering, vaulting, and jumping over a selection of fences, and was about to try and break into one of the houses I now had stumbled across. I would make one of the houses my last stand, and defend it thus. Then I awoke. This dream, I felt at first, was a dark forces dream, one where they were in pursuit of me, and try as I might, I could not shake them. With further consideration, I was curious as to how, despite the constant changing of my form, in an attempt to thwart my pursuers, they continued to pursue me. Either my guises were not very effective, or they recognized me, despite the guises I adopted. I had the sense then that I was being chased by myself, hence how they were able to see through my canny shifting of forms. Perhaps then my personal self was making itself known, its protestations at my becoming more aware. The process of getting through ourselves, demonstrated in this dream by the presence of my irate aspects of my created consciousness made manifest, maybe thought forms bubbling up from the recesses of my subconscious. The battle with the self then rages on as I go through my process. Dwayne provides a view. It can be many things. I've known many people, and we've all been there. We were with the bad guys at one time, and we decided to leave, and we learned, as an example, these tricks. We learned to disguise ourselves, etc. Like in the spy movie, an agent learns all these things, then goes rogue. He's learned all these things from the FBI or the CIA, and he goes with the Russians or something like that, and so the FBI and the CIA are after him because he's gone rogue and decided to sell secrets to the other countries for more money, etc. And they know this, so they identify his markings, etc. So the bullets represent ideas that they are shooting at you. That's why it doesn't bother you, because they are just ideas. So you decide to manifest a gun, and you're shooting ideas back at them, and you see how it's affecting them also. If you see it as your personal self, yes, there's many viewers with it, that's fine. As the dreamer and experiencer, you know. Those are ideas going back and forth, and yes, the personal self is not easy to deal with if you're on a diet and you shouldn't eat certain foods, but suddenly you want a bag of potato chips and a Coca-Cola. That's not on your diet, but still, the personal self wants it, and you go along with it, and after that you wish you hadn't done that. But again, the personal self has its ideas of things. The personal self has its ideas of things too. So it's the back and forth, etc. So you're trying to convince yourself that you shouldn't eat that, but you really want it. You haven't had a Coca-Cola in a month, etc. The personal self looks for ways to convince itself that it's okay and you can get through it, etc. But again, the bullets are the ideas you're shooting back and forth. And so, sing the new you song. Watch your dream visions, and let the whole of life and the real universal guides show you what is real now.